Namaskaram Sadhguru. Devi is a manifestation of divine, and you said many Devi temples all over the world were destroyed. I would like to know, why was Devi not able to protect herself?
It is a fact that the worship of the divine in the feminine form was hugely prevalent in the present-day Europe, Arabia, Central Asia, all these places. But it has managed to live only in this part of Asia still. In other places, it's been violently uprooted. Well, maybe a better documented version of uprooting the divine feminine is, all of you have definitely heard of witch hunting. That term is still being used today. If something unfairly, somebody is being hunted, we say witch hunt. This comes from the term during the time of the Crusades. It is estimated they burnt over 6 million women alive over a period of probably 150 years or 200 years, I'm not very sure about that. But over a period of time, those crusade period, when somebody was very ambitiously spreading their religion, this is what happened. These women who were burnt like this, and many were simply burnt for various other reasons, but it was all just label somebody a witch, that's it, people will burn them down. Even today this practice is still there, unfortunately here and there. So who is a witch? In some way, when a woman displays, she's capable of doing something or knowing something beyond childbearing and cooking. She's a witch. Yes, that's how it was. So generally, the Devi temples always spawned women who are capable of other things. Right now we are breeding a new culture of Bairaginis and Devi sadhakas. The idea is, slowly divinity walks around. They may take their time, but gradually to produce what you considered as divine, which you enshrine, must live with legs. So, the divine feminine has been uprooted simply because the Abrahamic way of religious process is purely male-oriented. It's completely masculine. There is no room for feminine to be anywhere there. It's God and His Son, it's God and His messengers, all male messengers, never female. So, because of this, in Arabia, in Europe, in Central Asia, a lot of destruction happened. But there is not a single village in entire India without a Devi temple. If you empower the feminine, then all the silly laws all the silly ideologies, laws of heaven and nonsense that you've created, all that will collapse. I will not go into the mechanics of how it'll collapse, but think through this. Suppose you accepted a woman as a god. Suddenly, going somewhere and living well will go away, because that's not the nature of the feminine. It is always masculine. He wants to go somewhere and then live well, at least to another place in this country, or another continent in this planet, or another galaxy, or another dimension called heaven, paradise, whatever you want to call it. This is a man's thing, he wants to go somewhere and then live well. He can't live well here, this is his problem. This is a huge masculine problem, that he cannot live well here. If you look at the male and female, you will see the feminine always wants to settle down, wherever little comfort, settle down and live well. Man wants to climb the mountain and settle down on the other side. This side of the mountain is not okay for him. So, if you made a male god and a female god and they were together like Shiva, Parvati, something, you will not want to go anywhere. So, feminine always brings settling down. Masculine wants to propel somewhere. That propelling, too much propelling. We need some propelling, of course. Too much propelling is causing enormous destruction on all levels of life. Empower the feminine, you will see in many ways this propulsion will come down. Either you must be inward oriented, then you can sit here. Or you are in some way bound to a woman, then you will sit here. Otherwise, a single man can't control him, he's all the time on. Most men still need a woman. Very few men who can live without a woman. They are either ascetics, so no problem, or they are super ambitious tyrants, they are a problem. So, has Devi been destroyed? Well, I'm telling you, she's all over this country, in every village. There may be no temple for a male god in a village, but always there is a temple for a Devi. So, why couldn't she take care of herself? This is the nature of a woman, that if it's getting too ugly, she won't be there. She will go and settle where it's conducive. That's exactly what she's done. We must take care of her.
Dear seekers, have you ever wondered why the night sky is so vast, yet we only see a fraction of its stars? Or why the ocean is so deep, yet we only explore its surface? Similarly, have you pondered on the potential that lies within each human being, particularly women, and how it has been overlooked throughout history? In the Middle Ages, women were often relegated to the roles of mere childbearers and caretakers, bound within the confines of their homes and kitchens. This societal structure severely limited their opportunities and freedoms. Consider the witch hunts of Europe, where countless women were persecuted under the guise of heresy or witchcraft. This dark period in history reflects not just a fear of the unknown, but also a deep-seated inclination to suppress the feminine spirit, to control what was perceived as unpredictable and potent. However, despite such oppression, women have always embodied qualities that are deeply spiritual and transformative. Qualities such as endurance, acceptance, and patience are not just virtues, but are the very essence of a spiritual journey towards enlightenment. In many spiritual traditions, these qualities are often more associated with the feminine aspect of human nature. Now, think about this: if women, who have been so constrained and undervalued, inherently possess these qualities conducive to enlightenment, doesn't it imply that they are, in a way, closer to enlightenment than men? The strength it takes to bear life, to nurture, and to continue in the face of adversity and limitation is a testament to an inner resilience and a profound connection to the life force itself. In today's world, we are witnessing a gradual but significant shift. Women are stepping out of the shadows of history, claiming their rightful place in every field. This is not just a social change, it is a spiritual awakening. As women reclaim their power and voice, they bring with them a balance that has been missing from our world. This balance is not just between genders, but within the very fabric of our collective consciousness. Enlightenment, in its truest sense, is about transcending the limitations imposed by society, by our own minds, and by history. It is about realizing the boundless potential that lies within. As women break free from centuries-old shackles, they are not just liberating themselves, but they are also leading the way for a collective evolution of human consciousness. The journey towards enlightenment is not a competition or comparison between genders. It is about recognizing and embracing the intrinsic qualities that lie within all of us. Women, through their journey of liberation and self-realization, remind us that these qualities are not just a means to an end, but are themselves a manifestation of the divine. Understanding and appreciating the spiritual journey of women is crucial. It's a recognition that liberation is not just a personal achievement, but a collective one. In celebrating and supporting the spiritual awakening of women, We all move closer to a world where enlightenment is not a distant dream, but a lived reality. Dear seekers, as we delve deeper into this discourse, let us reflect upon the nature of our society and the roles we play in it. How do we, regardless of our gender, contribute to either the liberation or the limitation of the feminine spirit? It is essential to understand that the journey towards enlightenment is not just about personal liberation, it's about collective harmony and balance. In many ancient cultures, the feminine was revered, not just as a giver of life, but as a symbol of wisdom, strength, and connection to the natural world. The suppression of the feminine over the centuries has not only harmed women, but has also led to an imbalance in our collective psyche. The hypermasculine traits of aggression, dominance, and competition have been overemphasized, often at the cost of compassion, empathy, and collaboration. However, the tide is turning now. We are beginning to see the value of these so-called feminine qualities in all aspects of life. In leadership, for instance, qualities like empathy, listening, and nurturing are being recognized as vital for creating sustainable and humane systems. This shift is not about replacing one gender with another. It is about rebalancing the energies that both men and women carry within them. This rebalancing is not just a socio-political or cultural shift, it is a deeply spiritual one. It is about recognizing the divine feminine and masculine within each of us and honoring them both. As we do this, we move closer to a state of wholeness, both individually and collectively. Moreover, as we acknowledge the spiritual potential of women, we must also remember the countless unnamed women throughout history who have contributed to our spiritual heritage. These are the women who have kept the flame of wisdom, love, and resilience burning in the most challenging of times. They may not be in our history books, but their spirit is woven into the fabric of our collective consciousness. In our journey towards enlightenment, let us embrace the qualities that women have always embodied. Let us learn from their resilience, their capacity for love and forgiveness, their ability to nurture and create. These are not just qualities for women to embody, they are essential for all of us, regardless of gender. Dear seekers, always remember that the path to true transformation and enlightenment lies in recognizing and embracing the qualities that have been historically associated with the feminine. It is in this recognition that we find the key to not only personal but collective liberation. As we honor and uplift the feminine, we heal not just the wounds of the past, but pave the way for a future that is more balanced, compassionate, and enlightened.